Welcome to this energy message for this 4/4 energy day. We are in a very interesting, very special energy today, and I just wanted to share some of the characteristics, some of the symbolic meaning behind the number 4 in terms of numerology, what this number actually carries and what message it carries for us, because it is relevant. I don't want to call this a portal day. It's not. I don't find it's not like any specific portals open on these days. There's just a certain energy signature that each number has in numerology, right? From 1 through 9. And then those numbers are just repeated in different sequences as we go through the calendar. But when we have a repeating number, like on April the 4th or March the 3rd, or any given month where we have the same frequency number that the month also carries, it always asks us to pay closer attention to the hidden meaning behind that. So number 4 signifies what is solid, what can be felt and touched. It symbolizes wholeness, which draws all to itself. So 4 is a very stable number. And of course, every single number has strength and weakness to it. So I'm going to get into the strengths and the weaknesses that the number 4 carries for us and the message actually behind that. Welcome to the channel. My name is Kata. I'm an intuitive life coach and energy healer, and you can check out the description box for all of my different offerings. There's a few extra links. And until the 8th of April, so until the solar eclipse, I am offering intuitive coaching at $50 off right now. Check out the link for that in the description box. So let's talk about number 4, because like I said, this day is special. It's special because of the message that it carries. And it is asking us to have the strength and the efficiency that is needed to move us forward. So today actually carries a message of needing to be stronger and more efficient. And as I go through the different things that this number symbolizes, I want you to think about it like this. What of these characteristics do you need to develop within yourself? And what of these characteristics are you already currently embodying? As I get into the weaknesses, what are some of those weaknesses of this energy or the frequency of number 4 that you perhaps may be struggling with at this time? Okay, so this, more than anything, today's video is just about bringing awareness to yourself and to how you operate. So number 4 resonates with the energy of practicality, hard work, discipline, and responsibility. It is when strength and efficiency are needed. It is a no-nonsense number with a heads-down approach to life and to work. So number 4 is like, carries this energy of really needing to get focused, to put, nose to the grindstone kind of thing, and really focus on what actually needs to be done to move the needle forward in your life. It also symbolizes extreme dependability and lends a great amount of stability to a person or situation. So it's a very stable number. It's a very stable energy today that you may be feeling. And if you're not feeling stable within yourself, then this frequency today is going to give you this message of where you need to create more stability within your life. It also connects to the root chakra, which is our foundation for stability, safety, security. So if you are struggling with those feelings within yourself of not feeling safe, not feeling secure, not feeling perhaps financially secure, it's also this, because this is also about the material things, right? And that's a part of us feeling safe and secure. Then this day, or the energy of today, is asking you to reevaluate how you have been doing things and whether that's been efficient for you or not, whether that's been moving the needle forward for you or not. Have you been stalling out? Have you been stagnating in certain areas of your life when it comes to creating stability for yourself? It is also about this energy of dedication to advancing oneself. It's like the universe is asking you, are you dedicated to yourself? Are your self-growth, to your self-mastery, to becoming this higher, better version of yourself? And maybe you are partially dedicated to that, and maybe you're very dedicated. So check in with yourself and see where you're at on that scale. Are there any improvements that you could make when it comes to taking care of yourself? And when it comes to advancing yourself. So what do you need to learn? What do you need to know? What do you need to be paying attention to that is going to help you advance further? Is there something you need to study? Is there something you need to learn? A book you need to pick up? A skill you need to pick up in order to advance yourself forward? And then I'm going to ask you the question here, what are the things that you're most afraid of doing? Because those are the things that you need to be doing. And today carries that energy and that message that can you do those things that you're afraid of doing so that you can advance yourself forward? Because advancement always requires discomfort. We never advance without discomfort. Discomfort is an indication that we are learning, that we are growing, that we are doing something that is outside of our comfort zone, something that we are not familiar with, something that we maybe perhaps have never done before. So where can you apply this in your life right now? Number 4 carries a wise and rational energy as well that can bring us a sense of security and consistency. So it's also asking you, are you consistent with the things that move you forward, with your own personal advancement? It brings a message of utilizing mental strength to build a life of service and contentment. So it's asking us today, the universe is asking us today, are we mentally strong? Are we strong enough to build a life of service that will fulfill us, that will make us really happy? Now let's look at the strengths of number 4. So one of the positive characteristics of number 4 is that it's practical. It carries this very practical energy that has a realistic outlook on life and isn't swayed by the newest and shiniest object, experience, or idea. This rationality allows it to make wise decisions and develop solid plans that can really move the meter, as practicality is the root of productivity. So the more practical you can be, the more productive you can be. So where can you apply that to your life right now? Another strength of number 4 is loyalty. So the number 4 prides itself on being dependable and will work hard all day to prove its level of commitment. It needs a stable foundation to feel comfortable, so it will put great effort into creating secure, long-lasting relationships, opportunities, and agreements. So there's this energy of loyalty. And again, remember what I said at the beginning of the video, ask yourself, where are you embodying these characteristics within yourself, these energies of the number 4, and where are you not embodying the energy of number 4? The frequency, the vibration, that stability, that loyalty, that practicality. Another strength of number 4 is that it's very service-oriented. So its hardworking nature means that service comes naturally. This is about having a hardworking nature so that service comes naturally to you, so that it doesn't feel like work. It feels like something that is just a normal part of your life, and you have this really beautiful consistency and flow within that energy. So are you service-oriented? Are you embodying this hardworking nature? And if you don't, and if you feel like you struggle with that, if you feel like you're more in this energy of feeling sort of forced to provide service or to be of service to others, then there's something that you need to reevaluate within how you think about service and how you are applying that work that you're doing that creates that service. So maybe you're not working very efficiently. Maybe there's certain things that you need to simplify in order for you to be able to serve in an easier way. And thankfully, we have so many different tools, online and apps and so many different things that we can use that help us to serve better, right? So where can you get a bit more practical to serve in an easier way, if that is a struggle for you at this time? And it's also about knowing that you need to put in the time and the effort to get the best results, right? So doing something once in a while isn't going to serve you as well as doing something consistently, doing something on a regular basis. So are you putting in the level of time and effort that is required to give you the results that you're seeking? And if you're not getting the results that you're seeking, perhaps more time and more effort needs to be put into something that you are working on that you would like to put out into the world. There's also this emphasis today about acts of service within relationships, within jobs, friendships, and at home that are necessary to, kind of keep everything going. So is there maybe a little bit more that you could be doing when it comes to your relationship, and what kind of acts of service are you doing within your relationships right now that are really supporting it, that are helping it to grow, to thrive, and to foster like a really beautiful connection with that individual? And it's the same thing for jobs, for friendships, and just home life in general. Because the number 4, when you look at it, it's like it's pillars, right? It's when you look at a table with 4 legs, that's a very solid structure. It's a very sturdy structure. So it's the same thing. Is there sturdiness and solidness within your own foundation? And the foundation is typically the home for each of us, right? And that foundation needs to be strong in order for things to run smoothly, in order for your household to run smoothly, in order for our relationships and our work to run in a smooth way. So it's about creating that stability within your life, within your home life, your relationships, within your work life, for yourself, that is going to support you and everyone else included in a very good way. Now let's look at the weaknesses of the energy of number 4. So one of them would be that it is dogmatic. So the nature of number 4 is very conservative and firm in its personal beliefs. Once it has made up its mind, it sees its opinions as facts and has no hang-ups about preaching them to others. Unfortunately, this concrete way of thinking leaves no room for other perspectives to enter. While the 4 believes it is staying true to itself, it really is actually limiting itself. Is this something that you struggle with? Is this something that you perhaps are currently embodying? Right? All of this is just about awareness, right? It's for all of us. And as I was putting these notes together and looking at it, I was asking myself these questions. What beliefs do I have that are perhaps very rigid? Where am I not being flexible within my thinking, within the way that I perceive things and situations, right? Because that's what it really comes down to. Today is just this emphasis to ask ourselves these questions, to focus on whether we do these things that really prevent us from having a better experience in life in general. So are you limiting yourself in some kind of way by being very dogmatic in the way that you perceive or in the way that you believe things? And this could be things about yourself, things about other people. And do you look at your own opinion as facts? Or are you flexible? Are you allowing yourself to be more flexible and not take your opinion as a fact? Another weakness of number 4 is that it's dull. So it can be a bit on the boring side. Choosing work over play and sticking to traditional interests and activities, the number 4 can honestly be a bit boring. It can be a straight edge that is not easily excited, nor is it interested in experimenting or trying new things. It is perfectly content in its way of life. It's just that this way of life isn't all that interesting to others. So where are perhaps you being boring and dull within your life? Another question I ask myself, because I find myself these days to just, for my days to be a little bit monotonous, right? I'm kind of doing the same thing day in and day out. It's always the same kind of work, the same type of stuff. So where are you choosing work over play? And it's a very important question to ask ourselves, because in our go, go, go world, we oftentimes forget to play. We forget to stop and smell the roses, or to celebrate, even small wins. Small wins should be celebrated as well. Perhaps there needs to be a little bit more experimentation in your life, to try new things, to get out there more. I know I certainly need to do that myself, and to kind of switch things up, And lastly, the last weakness of the energy of number 4 is rigidity. So where are you being rigid in your life at this time? And with what are you being rigid? Where are you lacking flexibility, essentially? It's hard for number 4 to be a team player because it is so inflexible. It's confident to a fault, always thinking it's right and never allowing itself to be swayed. This assuredness makes sense in some situations, but when it comes to give and take and working together, the 4 has a lot to learn. So is there any rigidity within you at this time? Are you feeling like you're maybe not a very good team player? Are you feeling like you're being inflexible about certain things? And I mentioned relationships earlier, so perhaps within your relationships or connections, you may be a little bit rigid and not willing to participate more in like a give and take scenario. So tune into that a little bit and just question that within yourself a little bit. Where are you being rigid? Now I want to talk about a 4 life path. So life path number is a number that you can calculate based on your birthday. And all you have to do is you just add up every single digit of your birthdays. So you're just adding all of the numbers individually together. Then you're going to get a double digit number. Then you're going to add those 2 double digit numbers together, which is going to reduce it down to one single number. And that one single number becomes your life path number. So it's a very simple calculation, and it's very interesting to look up what your life path number is. It gives a lot of insight about who you are as a person and what you're kind of here to do, what you're really good at, what your strengths are, and what basically like career paths would be best suited to you, and what you would be really good at doing. So it's worth doing a little bit of numerology calculation to figure out your personal life path number. If you are a number 4 life path, then this is a practical one focused on service and hard work. Life path number 4s are strong and stable and act as a rock in others' lives. Their lesson is to loosen up their mind and methods and realize that love and enjoyment are just as important as duty. So again, the life path number 4 is a little bit rigid and doesn't necessarily play enough, very hardworking, which is a very positive, very great thing, gracious thing. However, we always need balance, right? So today's 4-4 energy message is really reminding us to balance work and play, to be more flexible, to allow ourselves to open up to other people's ideas, not be so rigid, not be so dogmatic when it comes to our own opinions, and not be so biased. And it's asking us to check in with our own foundations and see whether we have balance within those foundations. So whether we have balance within our homes, whether we have balance within our relationships, especially partnership type of relationships, but all relationships, of course, and then within job, within work, all of these different areas. Personality traits that are associated with a number 4 are strong or strength. It's traditional, practical, hard worker, loyal, organized, strict, patient, and dependable. So again, just kind of check in with yourself. Am I embodying these things? To what degree am I embodying them? And if I'm not embodying, then what could I do to embody these more? How can I be stronger and more practical, maybe more hardworking, more loyal, more organized, more strict, more patient, and strict here with yourself, where you're pulling back from those bad habits that are holding you back? And where could you be perhaps more dependable? So just kind of check in with yourself on those. Now, just as the last 2 points here, in tarot, the number 4 or the 4th card in tarot is actually the Emperor. So there's this message carried in today's energy of being more stoic. So the Emperor is a stoic symbol of responsibility, practicality, and fortitude. So again, are we embodying practicality, responsibility, and fortitude within our lives at this time? That's what today is asking us. That's what the universe is asking us today. And in the zodiac, Cancer is the 4th sign on the zodiac wheel. And Cancer strives to create a secure environment. So Cancer loves security and loves to create that very secure, solid, stable, firm foundation. So it is also staunchly dedicated to its home and the protection of its loved ones. So again, there's this sort of universal message today about protection of your loved ones, of creating that harmony, that stability within the home. So just check in with yourself, see how these different ideas resonated with you, and see what aspects you are currently embodying and what you are perhaps needing to work on at this time. I just want to thank you so much for watching, for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.